There is not anything recognizable of what were the two trade towers, nothing standing out from those clouds of dust at this time.
You guys were in the building? Yeah.
Oh, that day changed everything.
I think I got fibers in there. You got fibers in there.
When I came back that day to the firehouse, one firefighter came to me and he said, you know, yesterday you had one brother. Today you have 50.
Good to see you.
It's hard to even describe the emotions in the firehouse that day.
And it was just like, you heard the ground rumble, and it was just fucking debris was just chasing you. We were running, hauling ass. I mean, fucking.
On one hand, you're celebrating.
Very frightful day, man. Very happy to be here.
Somehow the guys from our house, they got out.
We lost so much in that 2-hour period.
And you doing all right?
And we felt like we got the hell kicked out of us.
Shot, I don't know what to do, man. Go back down there or what? Fucking get shot.
At the same time, we knew hundreds of firefighters, thousands of people had to have died in those towers. And every hour that passed, we were more certain Tony Benetatos was one of them.
Hey guys, Deputy Chief Hill called. 1st Division, he doesn't want anybody else down here right now.
Everybody was wondering about Tony. James just put his gear and went by himself to look for Tony.
I'd come in from home, and yeah, we were ordered to stay at the firehouse. But after 6 hours, somebody had to go and look for this kid.
It's gone, man.
17 down?
I got down there just as 7 World Trade finally collapsed.
Hey, Rick, they've been going live with you the whole time.
No sign of Tony anywhere. It had to be almost 6 o'clock. 9 hours after everything started.
Hey, Benetatos!
That Tony just walked in.
I walked in like a daze, and they were all like, hey, it's Benetatos, you're all right.
What's wrong with your hand, anything?
No.
No? You all right?
Yeah.
Chill out.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
What happened on your end?
I was in the building.
Were you? Is everyone from the house? Everyone?
And I just asked, did everyone get back? And they were like, yeah. That felt pretty good.
You motherfuckers, man. I was so sure you dudes were dead. I'm fucking digging through shit. And you fuckers are chilling here eating oranges? And I'm roaming around looking for you.
The last one that went out there came back, and we were all okay.
I left here right after the first collapse.
Turns out, Tony had been with Larry Burns the whole time, the probie and the retired chief. They were right there when Tower 1 came down.
I checked all the rigs. There were rigs crushed, paramedic trucks covered with rubble, flipped, fires burning everywhere, huge fires. That whole day I just searched through rubble, lifting things up, checking underneath.
It was hard for him. It was very hard for him. He's only been a firefighter for, a couple of months. But he proved himself that day to all the guys, yeah.
There was so much that we didn't know about that first day. Who had attacked us, how, why. All we knew is that nothing would ever be the same.
And then, of course, the images of the replay that never stops, of the planes hitting, the towers coming down. And it was like, okay, enough TV. Thankfully, the power went out about that time, so it was a relief.
This generator may be in the courtyard, and then we'll hook the lights into it. I got 2 more sets of lights coming.
The entire downtown Manhattan lose power. It was really this feeling that we're going to be there for a long time.
Just a short while ago, Mayor Giuliani held a news conference saying it's important not to lash out in anger because of the attacks on the World Trade Center.
Most of us stayed at the firehouse that night, trying to take it all in.
The roof of the Marriott, we were on the roof of the Marriott. There was parts all over the fucking place. Legs, feet. It was nasty.
You all right, brother? Yeah, I'm all right.
One of the things that sticks with me more than everything I saw is I sat down next to Ted. He looked real bad. I said, Tony, man, it was raining bodies. And just the way he said it, man, the man had been through hell.
Good evening. Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts.
It's a very depressed, dismal, miserable mood. Hundreds of your firemen, thousands of civilians are gone. As quickly as you blow out a match, they're gone. Flip a switch, they're gone. That's it. Those buildings came down. Gone.
See them. It's hard to believe they're not there. They're not there.
This was my first reaction.
They're gone.
There is no more World Trade Center.
No.
It did happen, right? It's not something that I'm going to close my eyes and open them again and I'm going to see the tower, right? It's not there.
You know, and the only thing you have really, and the only thing that really kept it all together was us as a group, as a body, as a firehouse.
Around midnight, we sent Tony up to lower the flag to half-mast. Again.
There's going to be a lot of pain to deal with in the future. I have a pretty good friend who was in my academy class in my squad, who's among the missing. A lot of guys, we all lost friends and family.
I don't want to ever have to put that thing at half-mast again for the rest of my career. That's it.
Until the recall ends, it's 24 on, 24 off, 24 on, 24 off.
We got word that we'd start digging in the morning. Some of the guys with wives and kids went home, just for a few hours. They knew it might be days before they'd see their families again.
And the kids came out, and we just kind of all cried in one big hug. And it was, we just cried.
Probably the best entrance I ever made to a place.
And I got home about 2 o'clock in the morning, hopped in the jacuzzi with my wife. But that's another story.
I got 1 2.5 link right here. Get a couple more guys down here. We'll set up a whole line. Hey, just gonna climb up there. Keep the 3.5 in the middle so we can...
Came back to the firehouse the next day. I couldn't wait to get back, actually, because I wanted to get down there. I figured, well, we're gonna have plenty of people that are gonna be trapped, for sure. We're gonna get them out. We always do.
I don't know if anyone's really pulled themselves together.
Focus on what you're doing today. I mean, time enough in a couple of weeks to really take in what happened to our guys. But today, you must focus on what you're doing. Go in teams of 2. One guy falls through a hole, you're gonna have a guy there that knows you fell in that hole. I'm gonna take a ride.
We're all alive. That's more than we could have possibly hoped for. So our job now is to go and do whatever needs to be done, and do it as much and as hard as we can for as long as they'll let us.
Some of the guys took a city bus down to what the media was already calling Ground Zero.
You guys got extra surgical gloves. You guys didn't put them in your pockets.
Some firemen called it the pile. For us, it was still a trade center, even if it was gone.
Hey guys, if you hear 3 horns, that means something might be coming down. So keep your eyes open when you're walking around down there.
And I just realized something that I always wanted to deny, is how evil can be.
I need 5 firefighters, 19 and 12.
We went down there and formed up companies, 5-man and an officer.
Let's go.
We went to work right away, trying to look for survivors.
Try to get some buckets back here. Buckets!
Guys were digging fast, passing those buckets quick. Digging frantically.
Bucket! Bucket! Hey, watch your back, guys.
we'd be digging, and all of a sudden everybody would say, quiet. And the whole place would get quiet, and people would look. And then slowly they would go back to work and start again. And that's how things went down there. I remember the first time I went there, it was like, you know, gateway to hell.
Technically, Jules and Gideon shouldn't have been anywhere near that site. It was dangerous enough for us firefighters. Every step you took, you could fall 30, 40 feet into a void. Jules and Gideon said they had to be there, but not to film.
We would only take the camera and film for a few minutes. In fact, we forced ourselves to take the camera down because we just wanted to go there and help.
We'd clear what we could by hand. Then the iron workers would come in, cut the steel beams, and lift them out. Then we'd just start digging again.
You have 2 110-story office buildings. You don't find a desk. You don't find a chair. You don't find a telephone, a computer. The biggest piece of a telephone I found was half of the keypad, and it was about this big. The building collapsed to dust. How are we supposed to find anybody in this, that there's nothing left of the building?
You find a little spot, and you just keep going and digging and trying to find something. And you find a foot, and then they said the building's gonna collapse, and you run away.
Go, go, go! Okay.
And then we would go back and mostly just dug. We found a body. It was a girl. She was dead. She was definitely dead. All her clothes had been burned off her. She looked to be pregnant. Some people thought maybe she was just bloated, but I don't think so. She was encased in rubble. And we had her about halfway uncovered. We had getting the body bag ready, and then they told us to run. And we ran. So I never got to see if they got her out. But would have felt good saying, all right, at least I got one person out. One family will be able to have a decent funeral.
Our first shift was 24 hours, and in all that time, there was one person pulled out alive. One. It was beyond discouraging. it was even hard to understand. It was weird in a way. Walking back to the firehouse, people were cheering us, but we sure didn't feel like heroes. Every day, total strangers were showing up with supplies.
Somebody said that if you could still use towels, so that's the end of the towels.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
They opened up the doors, and lo and behold, deliveries were coming by the ton.
Kitchen? Or just go right around that corner, just dump them on the floor.
You can't eat all the cookies they're giving you.
No.
I know it's early in the operation here, but I just wanted to thank everyone for all the hard work that they've been doing. How we're here, only God knows. But again, guys, thank you so much. You have no idea how much love I have.
Check the lockers, bro. Check the lockers, all the lockers, take whatever.
It's something special, you know, when guys are relentless and just going back and forth. Guys with nails in their hand, taping it up, gashes, blood everywhere, just taping it up and saying, let's go back, let's see what we can do to make this situation a little better. There's got to be people down there still alive. There has to be.
Listen, we try to keep hope. And we looked everywhere. We even crawled down into the stores and the subway tunnels underneath the site. But as days turned into weeks, you began to accept. There just wasn't anybody to find. But we never stopped looking.
Hey, Chief. Yes, sir. We got another body over here.
Firemen deal with ugly things every day. It's part of the job. But this was worse.
You have that body back?
Day after day, it pushed guys to their limit, maybe past it.
A lot of guys don't know if they're gonna do the job anymore. I know it's either this or the Army now. And I like saving lives, I don't like taking them. But after what I saw, if my country decides to send me to go kill, I'll do it now.
Every night around dinner time, the fire department would put out a list of firefighters confirmed dead. And every night, that list got longer.
It is with regret that the department announces the deaths of the following members. Battalion Chief John P. Williamson. Firefighter William Henry. Firefighter Eric T. Allen. Firefighter Manuel Mojica. Firefighter Lawrence J. Virgilio. Firefighter Timothy Haskell. Firefighter Thomas P. Hannafin. Firefighter John A. Ventura. Firefighter John S.
We lost so many people that everybody has lost dear friends, and not just one or two, but dozens.
Most days there was a memorial service for some guy you knew. Some days 2 or 3, some days 4. One of those services was for Kevin Pfeiffer, the chief's brother. He was last seen in the stairs of Tower 1, directing guys to the fastest way out of the building.
I would say that Chief Pfeiffer's brother saved my life. Saved a lot of lives.
And I remember walking down West Street and just remembering saying, how much my brother and I used to love being downtown and doing this job. And how now I didn't love it anymore.
A few weeks passed, and we got new rigs. Well, used rigs, to replace Engine 7 and Ladder 1. They're still buried in there somewhere, under the pile. Eventually, we started going on runs again.
Feels good, though.
Playing pranks again, and trying our best to love the job again. But things will never be the way they were.
Every now and then still wonder, is it really true, you know? I know it happened, but I don't know. How do you deal with something like this? It's the 11th every day for me when I wake up. Do you want the new tape?
As for Jules and Gideon, it's strange how things work out. In the beginning, they came to me and they said, let's make a documentary about a boy becoming a man during his 9-month probationary period. Turns out Tony became a man in about 9 hours, trying to help out on 9/11. You know how you can tell that? He's not bragging about it.
They said to Phil. We were the only ones on the ticket. It said to Phil 1075.
Do I feel like it's given me more of a sense of self-worth? Yes. Has it made me a man? No. What's a man? You know, I'll still watch cartoons and do my stupid things. I'm just a person who tries to do good, just like every other person in the fire department.
For the fire department, now it's about rebuilding. Somehow. At our firehouse, we've already got new probies to break in.
You get one chance to make a first impression.
2 guys fresh out of the academy. It's strange to think they'll never know what it was like to be a New York City fireman before September 11th. And they'll never really understand what we lost that day. All we can do is tell them the stories and show them the tape.
A scholarship fund has been set up to support the families of New York City firefighters. Your donation can help shape a future. 9/11, presented by Nextel.
This is CBS.
In the end, it's hard to weigh what happened on September 11th. You can measure some things, the height of a building, the size of its floors, the number of people who worked there. Bricks and steel are one thing, but human lives, you can't calculate that. Nearly 3,000 people died here on 9/11. Nearly 200 more at the Pentagon. Still more in the plane that crashed that day in Pennsylvania. You can add it up, but numbers don't do justice to what was really lost. Fathers and sons, wives, mothers and daughters. A lot of us watch stories like the one you've seen tonight and wonder what we can do. A scholarship fund has been set up to help the families of all New York firefighters. In a moment, we'll tell you how you can help. There are many people still working here at Ground Zero. It's now hallowed ground. So every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the work goes on in the hope that it'll give the families of those who were lost some peace. People have asked us why we wanted to show this material. Part of it was history, but the other part is personal. The men who shot this material wanted the world to see this moment in history as they saw it. Not a moment of terror, but one of strength. When good men did great things, tens of thousands were saved by simple acts of courage. We hope that will be the true legacy of the men from Engine 7 Ladder 1. It's the legacy of all those who were on duty tonight, and every night, men and women waiting for a chance to answer the call, in tribute to all those who lost their lives on 9/11. I'm Robert De Niro. Good night.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the flowers are dying. 'Tis you must go and I must bide. But come you back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow.
They laid down their lives for strangers. They were inspired by their sense of duty and their love for humanity.
They did not live to know who had caused the destruction or why. They only knew their duty, and that was to go in, to follow the faintest cry, to search for the trapped and helpless, and to save those who could be saved.
And when you come, and all the flowers are dying, and I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say, an Ave there for me, and I shall hear the soft you thread above me, and on my grave will warm a sweeter be. For you will bend and tell me that you